Ghost stories. Something that's been told around open campfires for hundreds or maybe even thousands of years. Stories of dark shadows and things that go bump in the night. Things so terrifying that children through to adults tremble at the very thought. But are ghosts actually real? It seems that every time you switch on your TV these days, it's full of ghost hunting shows, where the presenters claim to have interactions with spiritual beings or some other type of entity. Shut up, you girl. Anyway, there doesn't seem to be an episode that goes by in all these programs where a ghost just doesn't pop up out of nowhere and leave a message over a voice recorder. But are what we're hearing really messages from beyond the grave? Well, I suppose they could be, but there are a few problems that exist in the whole affair when it comes to recordings that are supposed to be from the other side. For instance, if a TV programme has to use a voice recorder to capture such an event, wouldn't the 2 or 3 other presenters' lapel mics, the camera mic and the shotgun mic that they use on these programs also capture this so-called ghost speaking? I mean, the odds are that these mics are way more professional, expensive and sensitive than the actual digital recorder or even tape recorder that's being used to present the evidence of life after death. But it doesn't stop there. I mean, if you actually listen to their evidence, it always comes in 1 or 2 words.
Man, demon, can you tell me a name?
Gone.
Gone.
Now?
Since when have we, as humans, never spoken in sentences? Plus, even if it is an American film crew or a British film crew visiting a foreign country, the ghost always seems to speak in English. That's a bit strange. Now, if these programs are faking it, then what would be the reason? Well, first of all, there is a lot of money to be made in producing such content, and the revenue that the TV stations pull in from this is in the millions, not to mention the presenters themselves. I mean, with special public appearances and merchandise, the station, the cast and the crew are all making a lot of money. You see, it's claimed that both Yvette Fielding from Most Haunted and Nick Groff of Paranormal Lockdown is said to have made over 1 million every year in revenue. But have they ever found any undeniable proof of ghosts? Well, not really. I mean, if anything, if you look at TV shows that have all been aired to date, they've all been proven to have faked evidence at some point.
I heard that!
Now, I suppose at the end of the day, like it clearly states at the beginning of every programme, these are for entertainment purposes only. But just how easy is it to fake a ghostly encounter? And just how easy is it to convince the public that it's real? Well, from what I've experienced, it's extremely easy, and the reason I know this is because I've recently faked a video to prove this very point. My video titled "The Only Location I've Witnessed Something Paranormal" was unfortunately fake. But people were that drawn in by my really bad, grainy video evidence that I even appeared on Paranormal Truth's live podcast, Super Neutral, to chat about what had actually happened that night.
It has been a while. When did I last see you? I can't remember when that was now.
Now, I'm sure that both of the hosts, Dale and Justin, had a little inkling that I was faking it, but they were gracious enough to carry on without any real pressing questions. But how did I do it? Well, I spent weeks planning it, and then after I'd been to the location, I just shut all my media accounts down to gain some attention. After a few people had contacted me, I later said that I was that traumatised from what had happened, it had really affected me. I then released the video. The glass in the video that fell off the bar and smashed was carefully placed on the edge of the counter, and then I attached some fishing wire. Then at the right moment, I pulled the wire and it fell off and smashed.
Holy shit, what the fucking hell was that?
Then I just followed that with some really bad acting. And then made sure the lighting was really bad so that no one could see the wire. Now, most people were really convinced that I'd finally witnessed a real paranormal event. But unfortunately on this occasion, I didn't, and I haven't done to date. So does this mean there's no such thing as ghosts? Well, I wouldn't go as far as saying yes to that, because millions of people witness things every year. So surely they're not all wrong or faking it. Well, I obviously can't answer that either because I wasn't there, but there are a few things that you should also start to ask yourself. Like, why do we never see cavemen ghosts? Or ghosts of some young criminal who's just been murdered? Or even a breakdancer in a tracksuit wearing Adidas trainers who has just died doing a headspin? Not to mention, we've had 2 world wars and countless others beforehand, so you'd think people would be seeing ghosts all over the place, and constantly. I mean, you've also got to ask, why are ghosts so shy? Because I know if I die, I'll be on the Ellen Show, sat on the couch, saying, yeah, there is life after death, and it's great over here. And certainly not standing around in an abandoned building, in the dark, with no roof, in the rain. See, there is that other thing, of why do we need to search for ghosts in the dark? And why can't we just switch the light on? I mean, every time I see photos or videos of so-called proof of ghosts, they're either very dark and grainy, or they're on a static camera, which is just too easy to fake. The other big thing for me is, if you're a ghost and you can walk through walls, then why don't you just walk into every other building and let's say just hang around in Jennifer Aniston's bedroom and watch her get undressed, etc. I mean, surely that's more exciting than standing around in the dark trying to scare Tracy, who claims to be a white witch, Sharon, who claims to be an empath, and 10-ton Tessie, the medium, who's so far away from being a medium in a XXX hoodie and leggings that barely fit one leg. It's enough to put you right off your pudding. Something else that I often question is why do all of a sudden we have to use all this special electronic equipment to communicate or see ghosts? Because like I've already said, people have apparently been seeing things for hundreds of years, and then all of a sudden you need all this equipment, which is often nothing more than a broken radio, which has then been renamed as the Spirit Box. I suppose the problem with the whole ghost and paranormal world is that no one has ever been able to prove that ghosts actually exist 100%. But then again, no one has been able to prove they don't either. So what do you think? Are ghosts real? Thanks for watching this mini episode of Curiosity.